What's up guys, Mike from Rockville, and today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your RG30, which is a boom arm microphone stand. Now this stand is almost identical to our ROGAN stand, which is a highly popular and reviewed stand as well, but this stand is a little more compact so you can save a little more space in your desk and your area. First, let me show you everything it comes with. After you take everything out of the box, you'll notice you have the main boom arm itself, the C-clamp, 2 different M8 screws that allow you to drill the stand into a desktop or table, Allen key, a microphone clip that fits most traditional size dynamic microphones as well as a variety of other types of microphones, and a 6.5-foot XLR cable for your microphone. I would also like to point out that the tip of the ROGAN Stand 30 comes off, so if you have a different microphone, shock mount, or a different type of clip that fits a different threading, so you can always remove this piece and it'll reveal the thinner threading. So now when you're setting up your RG30, the first thing you want to establish is how you're going to mount it into your setup. Now with the ROGAN Stand 30, you have 2 different ways that you can attach it to your desktop. You can either use the C-clamp as is, like this, and find a part of your table that you can actually clamp onto, or you can actually remove this piece and then use this part to actually drill it into your table and attach it that way. If you want to remove this portion of the C-clamp, you're actually going to have to grab the included Allen key, and on the bottom over here, there's 2 Allen screws that you need to remove. You're just going to twist the screws to the left to loosen it. And once you've loosened them both fully, you can actually remove the little Allen bolts like this, and that'll actually allow you to take this piece out. With the C part of the C-clamp out, you can now use this base to find a position on your table where you want to mount your ROGAN stand. Once you find a position for your base, you're actually going to decide now if you're going to use the longer M8 screw or the shorter M8 screw. We recommend using this longer M8 screw for thicker tables and the shorter M8 screws for thinner tables. Now before you actually attach the screw into the bottom of the base plate where it actually gets screwed in, you're going to need to drill a hole that will fit the screw to pass through. Once you have that hole drilled into your table, you're going to put the base plate over the hole and then feed the screw through the hole into this middle screw where it locks into place. If you have any dead space, you can use the nut that's on the bolt to go up to the edge of the table and tighten it into place. Once you have the screw firmly into the bottom of the base plate, it's locked into your table, and you can go ahead and set up the ROGAN Stand 30 as normal. In today's case, we're not going to be bolting the ROGAN Stand 30 into the table, so I'm going to put the C-clamp back on. Alright, so now if you're going to mount your ROGAN stand to the edge of a table, you're actually going to take your C-clamp. You can see right now I have it in the wide open position. So the way the C-clamp works is you take the C-clamp up to the edge of the table, slide it over till it's hitting this edge here, and then you just tighten this until it's fully secure. This end is the end that goes directly into this hole on the C-clamp. You're just going to line it up and push it in. Now on the back of the C-clamp, there's actually a button that you can press in if you want to remove the boom arm. So if I click that in, pull up on the boom arm, it comes out easily. But again, we're just going to place it into the hole. Once you hear that click, you know it's in place. And now your boom arm is attached to the C-clamp. Now at this point, we have our boom arm into our C-clamp and we're ready to attach our microphone. So you want to make the decision, am I attaching a dynamic microphone or a condenser microphone? The reason you want to think about that is because the microphones might need different clips. You can use the included microphone clip for most traditional size dynamic microphones, as well as some condenser microphones that are in the dynamic mic format. But other microphones, like a condenser microphone, might require a shock mount. In either case, whether it's a mic clip or a shock mount, it's going to attach to this end of the ROGAN Stand 30 over here, and you're just going to take the back end and screw it right onto the stand like this. And as I mentioned before, if your microphone clip or shock mount has a thinner interior over here, you can always remove this piece, which will expose a thinner threading. So let's say we're setting up a dynamic mic. I'm going to grab my microphone clip that's included with the ROGAN Stand 30, line it up to this end of the ROGAN Stand 30, and then just screw it on into place. Now on the ROGAN Stand 30, there are these 3 knobs. 1, 2, 3. These 3 knobs allow us to adjust the position and the boom arm itself. So if I adjust this one, I loosen it, I can then swivel up and down this piece over here. If I adjust this knob over here, it will allow me to really open up the boom arm. And if I loosen this knob at the bottom, it will actually adjust the tilt of the ROGAN stand, so I can tilt it forward or backwards. So once I find a position I like, I can lock it into place like that, And then of course, the ROGAN stand freely swivels for easy movement. Great, so once you have a position for your ROGAN stand and you have the mic clip attached to it, you can take your dynamic microphone and slide it through the clip like this. Remember, you want your dynamic microphone to be pointing at mouth level. Now that we have a microphone on the clip and everything, we can actually take our included 6.5 foot XLR cable and actually run it through the boom arm for a hidden look. To do that, we're actually going to pull down on these little wire clips that have these little grooves. Once you open all of them up, we can then feed our XLR mic cable through it. So you're going to want to make sure the female end is closest to the dynamic mic. We can actually plug it in. Once that's in, we're going to take our cable, run it through the wire clips like this, and then lock the wire clips on the top. And then the male end of your XLR cable would then plug into your interface, your mixer, whatever you're using in your audio setup. So this is the setup for a dynamic microphone. Now there is one thing that is potentially missing, and that is a pop filter. Now a lot of dynamic microphones have their own shields built into them, but if you wanted to add a pop filter, we can. I have the Rock Pop here. Now the place you're going to want to place this on your actual stand is not on this arm over here, but on this little space here. I'm going to take my pop filter, and I'm just going to screw it into place. And then we're going to just want to make sure the pop filter is right in line with the dynamic microphone like this. And now at this point, we have a fully functional mic stand and microphone set up with a pop filter. And you can see it's so easy to adjust the RG30. You just move it into any position. And then if you want to make any additional changes, you could just use the knobs running along the side. So the setup for a condenser microphone is really similar to the setup for a dynamic microphone. So I'm going to leave the XLR cable in the stand already. For most condenser microphones, they might come with their own shock mount, or you can purchase a different shock mount like the RockShox from Rockville. What this is going to do is hold the microphone, and you're just going to attach it to the stand the same way. So you'll line up this end with this part over here, and you're just going to screw it on. Once you have your shock mount on the ROGAN Stand 30, you can take your microphone. In my case, I have the RCM Pro. Squeeze these ends of your shock mount and place your microphone through. Now it's very important that the front of the microphone is facing your mouth so that it can capture all of the sound clearly. Now once we have our condenser microphone in its shock mount, we're actually going to need a pop filter because a lot of condenser microphones are extremely sensitive and can pick up plosives very clearly. So in the case of most of our Rockville condenser microphones, they come with their own pop filter like here. So in this case, I would just put it on like this. But if you had a different condenser microphone, you might want to get the Rock pop filter and attach it just like we did in the dynamic section, placing this over here and screwing it into place like this. The last step is to just plug the female end of the XLR cable into the microphone like this, and then plug the male end into our interface, mixer, whatever. And just remember, since you're using a condenser microphone, don't forget to engage the 48 volts of phantom power. Now using the ROGAN Stand 30 as a smartphone or tablet holder is a great way to free up more desk space, and you're just going to need this IPS22, which is a smartphone and tablet mount that can attach to microphone stands. So we sell this here at Rockville, and it's very simple. This end just goes right onto the stand like this, and then once you have it attached to the stand, there's actually a knob on the side over here that you can adjust, and that's going to loosen the ball joint just to give some more flexibility to where you can position your mount. Once you find a position you like, I like here, you're going to tighten that knob back up, locking the ball joint into place. And then after you have it attached to your ROGAN Stand 30, you can mount either vertically or horizontally a smartphone or tablet. In this case, I have an iPad, so all you do is feed this end to here and pull it out the arms like this. You'll see it'll lock it back into place like so. And this is really cool because it actually frees up the smartphone or tablet from having to be on the desk, and then just mounts it onto a stand that's very flexible. And if you want to adjust the tilt of the stand, you can use this bottom knob over here. If you want to adjust the telescopic boom arm, you can use this knob over here. And then if you actually want to adjust the angle of the mount, you can use this knob over here. This gives you a bunch of different options that you can play around with to find the best thing that integrates into your setup. The other cool thing is we have 4 wire clips all throughout the stand here, and you can use this to hide a long charging wire for your smartphone or tablet. So you would just run it through here. Once you have it all nice and neat, you would just close them all up, locking them into place, and then plug the charging end into your smartphone and tablet. Now this is a really cool mount and boom arm because it gets your smartphone or tablet off your desk while also being able to charge it and hide the cables for a clean look. So as you can see, the RG30 is a very versatile boom arm that is going to integrate perfectly into all the different setups that you might have. Hopefully this video showed you how easy it is to set up the RG30 ROGAN stand, but if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support tech team through phone or email. As always, guys, I'm Mike from Rockville, and I'll see you in the next one.